him state his own opinion on the matter. He didn't state it.
Okay,
Yeah,
no,
Khaled, I actually sent the scan with his own opinion. Maybe you can read
this
that.
is a lie.
Send the
Okay,
Arabic.
no worries, no worries. We're gonna again. This is his last work, and we know this kufr is his last work because Albani
No, it's not
mentions
his
it.
last because he
Dar
didn't
al-Ulum
say that
mentions
it was
it.
his opinion.
Ibn
You're a
al-Qayyim
liar.
mentions it. I
You're a
know
liar,
it's
and
really
we're
your
not going to
opinion.
accept your testimony,
Dawan, sir,
Marcus. You're
nobody
dead.
interrupted.
What is his last
You're
word? What is it?
This was his last writing. This was his
Prove
last
it.
writing.
Prove it. Prove it.
Yeah,
Prove
this
it.
is the
Please.
book he wrote
Assuming
while he
it
was.
is.
So I'm proving it. Can you be
Go
quiet?
on.
No. Can you be quiet so I can explain why it is his word? So again,
By
he
the way, we
wrote
didn't
this
even
while he
establish
was
that the text is saying what you're saying, so it doesn't even
Let the
matter.
man speak.
No, it does.
No, it
It
doesn't,
does.
because he
You guys
didn't
are
even
afraid of
establish
the
what he was
truth.
going to establish in the first place. So
No,
we're
no,
done.
we did.
You already lost.
You're running. Yeah, you're
Can
running.
you
What
at
do
you mean?
least
You
let
already-
him cite,
Dawa,
please?
just let him talk.
I mean, we can let him talk, but it's not going to do anything.
It is gonna do. Yeah. You're right because you guys don't have a counter argument. That's why you've been running away from this for months.
How
Which is
about
very
you just
simple.
talk?
How can he
you shut
talk
up
when
so I
20
can talk?
minutes of interruptions? I told you this before.
Well,
Either
Fluffy,
you
are
meet
gonna suck
Dawan
his dick a
Sir
bit
Guy,
more, or,
otherwise you
Alright.
won't be able to put something in.
Fluffy, your guy has been talking about the topic and fluffing a lot, and then
You're the one
we
who
have to
won't shut
force
up,
him.
bro. Shut the hell up.
We had to
I had a
force him.
simple
I don't.
question.
I talk
You
much
guys
less than you.
never
Be
be
quiet.
quiet
Be
for
quiet.
more than 5
All right.
seconds.
Islam, just talk about the topic itself. All right, go for it.
I am. So shut up. Can you shut up? Thank you. Okay. So very nice. So when he's making his argument, so you keep repeating his lies, and again, this is in writing, so you don't have to pretend I'm changing my position. Ibn Taymiyya lied. He always lies and claims false ijma' when he has none, and he claims ikhtilaf when he has none to push his deviant positions. This is how he misleads people like you. In this write-up on this subject, I'm still speaking. Be
Allahu
quiet.
Akbar.
Yeah, be silent. So in his write-up on this position where he's pushing clear kufr, he cites that there's an ikhtilaf. There is no ikhtilaf.
Okay,
So the
his
easiest
mistake
way
is
to prove, I'm still speaking, be silent.
Dawa, let
Be
him finish.
silent.
Dawa, let me handle it. All
Okay,
right,
I can't
continue,
handle this
Islam.
point, bro. I need to be able
Continue.
to
I will
ask
let him
questions.
finish, and I will ask for evidence.
Okay.
I will do all of that. don't worry.
Yeah. So for you to claim that there is ikhtilaf, you have to bring a quote from a Sunni scholar who's accepted by anyone
I
prior
give it
to
to
Ibn
you.
Taymiyyah,
Give it to you.
who
Let
holds that the hellfire ends.
I can
Not
give you
quoting
Imam
some
Tahawi.
deviant position. Tahawi doesn't hold this, you idiot.
I can give it from his own.
No, hold
Yeah,
on,
okay.
hold
give
on,
it-
hold on, hold
This
on.
is-
Calm down,
I
calm down.
can. No, I'm not saying.
Can
that
you
anyone,
stop
Ibn Taymiyyah,
interrupting?
by the way, Ibn Taymiyyah doesn't state that he thinks this is a valid ikhtilaf. He says that there are some people who hold to his opinion, but the Jumhur believe that it is not ever ending.
That's not true.
This,
All right.
That's not his
what?
position.
So
Okay.
wait a second, guys. So yeah. So first of all, yeah. So Ibn Taymiyyah now we agreed, right, that Ibn Taymiyyah isn't stating that this is his opinion in anywhere, right?
No, that's not what
Yeah,
we're
you just
Okay.
conceded.
How
though.
about you bring it then? This was a question from the beginning. You couldn't until now. This was the question. Bring me where Ibn Taymiyyah. Man, let me finish. Bring me where Ibn Taymiyyah states that his position that the hell will end. It is not there.
It is there. So we'll
Bring it.
walk through it and I'll prove it. Okay, first and foremost, when he is saying a statement of kufr, right? Of if the hellfire does not end, Allah has no mercy whatsoever. This is him quoting himself and his own opinion. Because when he writes it, he lets I'm speaking, be silent. So you're asking,
Let
so I'm
him
going to
finish.
explain to you how we
Let
know
him finish. Let
that
him
he's
finish.
quoting his own position.
Okay.
So when somebody quotes another scholar, they mention who they're quoting. They don't just put these quotes out there when nobody said them. And I can guarantee you, if you pull up this stuff, these exact quotes, and do as much digging as you want, no Sunni or even Shia ever uttered a statement of such kufr, that Allah would have no
I can
mercy
find another
whatsoever.
scholar saying the same thing without mentioning.
Can you stop interrupting?
Let him say that
kafir though. Is he a
let
kafir?
him end his stupid argument. This is not an argument at all.
Can
Go
somebody
finish.
mute
Finish.
Bobby
Finish
here?
finish fluffing. Islam. Finish.
So it's not fluffing. Can you give me who he's quoting?
Why does it matter? He is saying that he is quoting people. Islam. If I say there is some people who say this or that and this and that and this or that. Now you don't know them, right? It doesn't mean that they didn't exist. It doesn't mean that I'm not quoting. Since I said that I'm quoting, This is the stupidest argument ever. When I say there is multiple views on this matter, right? And I start with that. You can't come later and say these are my views. This is stupid. Right? You're just not making any sense at all. You just wanna push it, right? To say, oh, you know, since he is not saying who he is, whose views he is talking about, it means it could be just people that in his street, right? Saying that. It doesn't matter. The point is he is saying these are views of people. He's not saying these are my views. You can't come and say this is his views because I don't know who it is. This doesn't make sense. This is not logical. How about you think logically?
Okay, I'm gonna prove to you logically. So you're lying,
So much
claiming he's quoting.
He still can't reason, bro.
Okay, so very simple. You're lying. I'm proving very easily, starting at the back of the write-up, that you're lying. So you're lying, saying he's quoting other people. I'm telling you, yes. So this is the argument. I've established it. You're making the false claim he's quoting other people. I'm telling you these people don't exist. He just falsely claims other people have said stuff, and he didn't say this here.
He didn't say other
If you
people, so this
reread
is
the
an
7
opinion
points,
myself.
I'm still speaking. Be quiet.
All right,
So
guys,
if you read
I will let
the
him
point,
finish and then shut him down because this is it.
yeah,
You're not
so if you
making any
read the
sense.
points, okay, be silent, bro. Don't tell me how you're gonna be silent. Just be
All right,
silent.
finish. Okay.
Okay, so he does what he does, and this is Ibn Taymiyyah's approach. He's known for it. And this is what a lot of scholars do. They list all the positions, and then they end on their position. You cannot end a writing on a subject, making it ambiguous or unclear if the kufr position is the correct position. This is haram. This in itself is kufr. Second of all, you're claiming he's quoting people. Under point 7, he doesn't say he's quoting anyone. He quotes the Quran first, and then he does his tafsir of the Quran. And the proof that you're lying about him quoting someone else is the fact that this quote doesn't exist anywhere other than his words. Do you understand the argument?
Are you finished?
Do you understand the argument?
There's no argument. I will explain how
there
there's
is
no
an
argument, and I'm gonna end it here. You didn't bring any evidence. I don't care for what you're saying. Islam, just shut up. All right, now I'm gonna talk.
No. Wait,
Right? Don't ask me. Do I understand the argument? I'm gonna mute you if you don't shut
I'll
up.
make the arguments clear.
This is not a question. No. There's no argument. I already told you. There's no
You
argument.
literally cited the work, bringing the evidence.
God. Okay. You want to continue bluffing? I will let you bluff again. Makes the same no argument. Make it again.
Okay. So again, so you made the false claim under point 7. He's quoting someone else. I'm saying he's quoting number 1. Nobody. He's making his claim. The proof that he's not quoting someone else is, well, you look after all these years for who he's quoting, the person doesn't exist. So when someone says the Quran says this and it means this, he's not quoting someone else. When a scholar quotes someone else, he says, and this person or someone from this group says this. He doesn't make the statement at all here. So the denial of Allah having any mercy, if the hellfire is never ending, for you to establish that it's not him directly speaking from himself, you should be able to bring someone up to his point or prior that ever held this position.
In addition to this, Al-Albani criticizes
it is not
Ibn
true.
Taymiyyah.
You are concluding something that is not have to be concluded. All right, so I will try explain why I see that he is quoting basically or saying opinions, right? Why? He didn't say it in point 7. Do you know why? Because he said it from the beginning. He said this has different viewpoints on this matter, right? And then he started listing them. And the 7th one was the 7th one of those viewpoints. This is it. He didn't say, oh, these are my view, and, these are the views that I hold, or I have these views on this matter. No, he said there is viewpoints. Now, who said, you have to bring evidence for something that he said to indicate? No, because he said it. If I start by saying, if I'm talking here to the people, right, and I say, actually, on this matter, there is multiple viewpoints, right? And I start by saying, the first one is that it is haram. The second one is that it is makruh. The third one is that it is, whatever, right? Do I have to bring the people that maybe it is, my neighbor? It doesn't matter, it's as long as he holds this viewpoint. This is one of the viewpoints, and maybe you don't know my neighbor. No one knows my neighbor. Since I said there is multiple viewpoints, this is what I said, and brings these viewpoints. It doesn't mean that they are mine. Who said that? You are the one who trying to push it. It is illogical, or what you are saying is illogical. Doesn't prove anything. And this is it. You couldn't bring me any evidence. As I said, the whole book, he is just presenting views of multiple people, and he having. I even came so close to you. Yes, he in this book, if it is really what he said, and it is not his book, by the way, it is somebody else bringing it and framing it in whatever way. But the point is, he is coming very close. He is saying it's not clear. There is ikhtilaf on the matter, and he is bringing narrations. Right, you can argue about the narrations, right? These narrations are wrong, but he's bringing narrations from the Sahaba and Tabi'een, where their opinions is saying, it's not clear. Maybe the hell has like an amount of years, and after that, this is it, or things along these lines. Bringing verses from the Quran that, from his understanding, reaches this conclusion. Like for example, "Madamat as-samawati wal ard," right? That makes it not totally clear, right? And so he reaches this conclusion that this is not clear, right? And that the people who say that the hell will end has a point. This is it.
Okay, can I respond?
Okay, repeat yourself,
I
and
just
we will
want.
end it there.
I
By
just
the way,
want
it
to say,
doesn't matter.
I think the
One
hell
second.
ending thing is like it makes sense actually because
Can
like
somebody mute
why would
Bobby
Allah
here?
Be quiet. We don't care.
why would
We don't
Allah
care, Bobby.
create
bro.
Why is
why
We
would
don't care,
Allah
Bobby. We're
create
having a
people to just
discussion.
throw
Here,
them
no
in
need, no
hell
need.
like because
Hey,
of
Bobby,
Somebody
shut the
mute him.
fuck up, bro.
No, don't cuss him. Just mute him, please. Thank you. Look, brother. So you claim that there's an ikhtilaf, right? So just a quick definition to show how you're not being sincere. When we mention ikhtilaf, 1 second. When we mention ikhtilaf, do we mention ikhtilaf of the scholars or ikhtilaf of your random neighbor who has no knowledge of Islam and anonymous sources?
You think all scholars are well known?
Habibi, that's not what I said.
Can you just
So if
answer
there's
this
an
question?
no,
I
I
can
said
give you works where it's done too, bro. It's not an uncommon thing to say that this is an opinion held by some people and not to mention the group.
Yeah,
Like,
it doesn't matter even like this whole. Do you think all scholars are well known and their books survived?
they don't all have to be well known. This is a misrepresentation. So you said he's claiming an ikhtilaf, right?
Yeah, it could be from scholars
Okay.
that you don't know about. Even like this is not an argument,
a
Islam.
general
I'm not sure what you're
No.
doing
So
here.
ikhtilaf
just to
among
be
Ahl
clear,
Sunnah, by the way.
yeah, sure, no problem. So first of all, you claimed he could be citing his neighbor. That wasn't what I said. That's the lie that you said. I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy. Second of all, bro, stop
Bro,
interrupting.
this guy
Very
is
simple.
so insincere,
Very
man.
simple, bro. You guys are
Yeah.
look.
What a
That's why
lie.
you can't let me point to. So just to be clear,
Just shut up, bro.
since
There's
the
no more
ikhtilaf,
point to you
since
talking.
the ikhtilaf existed, bring one scholar before him who made the statement of kufr. Go ahead. He was fabricating it. Go
So,
ahead. Prove me wrong.
all right, that was trying to bring it if he wants, right? You
What do
are
you
not
mean?
bringing
You
any
said something different?
Slam. This is the end for you, right? We asked
Okay,
you
bro.
for evidence for your claim, right? I muted you. This is it. I asked you for
Bro,
evidence for your claim. You didn't bring any evidence for your claim. You said a stupid thing. Oh, I exaggerated about the neighbor thing to prove the point, to the point that would reach you. Okay? Like you are so dishonest in this reply, right? So yes, there is multiple people. By the way, you're saying scholars. I have seen many books of scholars where they say there is opinions on that matter by people. There's opinion on this matter, and even sometimes they name a whole group. They say, the Khawarij said this, or the Mutawali said that. Maybe not all of them
and they
said that.
don't go into specify which sect of the
Yeah,
Khawarij.
they don't all the
Like,
time. All the time, this happens by all scholars. You are just so dishonest that you just want to force something without anything, just fluff around, saying things that are wrong. No, scholars used to do that a lot. By the way, if you read any scholarly book, you will see them listing opinions without bringing whose opinions are these. A lot of the time, they say al-muta'awwilun said that. Maybe talking about you, right? Say, the people of the Khawarij
Ahlul
had this opinion.
Kitab,
That,
talking
and
about him.
yeah, and they just like, and you can't find this with their books. You can't find books of the Khawarij at all. So what are you talking about? Now they are lying. Everyone who says the Khawarij said that. I know what to tell you at this point. Okay. And I'm not in anybody's side, right? I got very close to you. I told you exactly what is written, and you couldn't bring me anything else. You just made an illogical argument for why, if somebody says, oh, there is views on that, and list them. If you can't find these views somewhere else, then it is his views. What is this? Who said that?
I
Other than
actually
you?
found his actual view in his own book, in the compilations made by his own students. and he rejects this to take something that is even inauthentic, and it doesn't even say what he's claiming that it says. Just shows how dishonest he is. He's a dishonest person.
You don't understand my point. Like Islam Baqab, I don't care. Even if Ibn Taymiyyah, like said something that is kufri, right? I would say yes, and I wouldn't care. Even still, by the way, I would still respect him, right? I do think people can make this kind of mistakes. Scholars can make this kind of mistake. Doesn't make them kafir. Doesn't make them not Muslim. It doesn't make them not good scholars, even, right? I don't care. I just read his book, like because Fluffy told me read it, read it. He kept telling that to me, so I read it, right? From the point that he told me to the point that you could say the topic ended, and this my conclusion. This is my conclusion about it. I don't care, really. I'm not, as I said before, I don't really like follow Ibn Taymiyyah in everything or anything like that. I just follow him when I think he's correct, and when I think he's not, I don't follow him. In this matter, actually, because of his opinion, I do some tawaqquf. After I did have the opinion that hell would still forever, would be forever for sure. I now, I'm not 100% sure after reading the book. It's most likely, though, I think, from the Quranic, I don't think his arguments totally make sense. And I still think most likely hell will be forever, same as heaven. But, he has an argument that it could be there's ikhtilaf. And ikhtilaf, that makes sense a bit. When you bring me evidence,
Okay.
I can unmute you if you are not
I
gonna
just want
talk
to say
about the
something,
topic.
bro.
Go on, yes. What do you
Hey,
want to
Khalid,
say?
I just want to say something.
Yeah, go on.
Even Imam Ahmed, right? When he refutes in his book Ar-Rad al-Jahmiyyah, he doesn't even mention who he is refuting to. So what's the point? Even if I bring up some, hypothetical situation and I refuse those ideas, right? It doesn't really matter. So this guy is just beating the bushes without countering the arguments, like he is, like his Ghazali retard. So yeah.
Mary Jane, how about you mic up and tell us how are we muting somebody because of we are intimidated of the truth? What do you mean? He keeps repeating himself. Do you think, okay, Mary Jane, let me ask you. So this is his argument, right? That he keeps repeating. Okay? I debated him. He repeats himself again, bringing up illogical claim.
The problem is you don't like the answer.
All right. Is he repeating himself or
answer
not,
exists,
Mary Jane?
but you
Have
don't
you
like the
seen him
answer, that's all you
repeating
do.
himself? So if
Answer
I
this
say,
bila makan, you retard.
right, guys, Mary, if you said, for example, there's multiple views on this matter, right, and you list them,
What if every one
does
of
this
his
mean? Let me finish. Wait a
his
second,
ikhtilaf
Fluffy.
is made up? That's the
Fluffy,
whole
let me
point.
ask you this question. Actually, let's see if you
Why
are as
are you
dishonest
being overly emotional,
as your friend or not. Fluffy, if you come here, right, and say there is multiple opinions on this matter, or there is multiple views on
bro?
this
Now
matter,
you're repeating yourself.
and you list them.
I
Yeah, I'm
already
asking you
heard
the
your.
question. I want to see your view on it. I'm not repeating. I'm
Dude,
asking you the
answer
question.
the
I didn't
question.
ask you this
Answer the
before.
question.
I didn't ask you this before, right? So if you come
Hey,
in
Khaled,
this
aren't you the one
room,
that believes that we can fuck children? Like,
if you come in this room and says this, I ask you a question about a matter, and you say there is multiple views on this matter, and you list all these views, right? If I don't know who these views you are coming from, could it mean, or does it mean that for sure these are your opinions, all of them, even though you said there is multiple views? You started by saying that. Can you answer?
I didn't even
Fluffy.
catch your question. Was that even a question?
Okay,
Ibn Taymiyyah says there's
I will
disagreement on
repeat
the
it
Salaf.
again.
Where's the disagreement on the Salaf on this?
Okay. Can you just answer this question first, and then we can go through if there is disagreement or not?
What is the question?
Right. If you come here in the room and we was asked a question, and you said there is multiple views on this matter, and then you started listing them. Okay? If, for example, as hypothetically, we don't know whose views are you representing, does that mean that these are your views?
It may or may not be. If he lists down multiple points, he might agree with one of them.
Oh, he might. Right.
Yes.
Okay. But it doesn't prove anything. It doesn't prove that these are his views.
Right.
Okay.
No.
All right. This is Islam Backup's argument that he keeps repeating. You agree with us.
Bro,
this is it.
Why are you being overly emotional? Now, what if he says there ikhtilaf among the Salaf and so on and so forth when there was no ikhtilaf?
Okay, so now let's go into the whatever this is a different matter, right? So I muted Islam Baqab because he kept insisting on a point that no one would agree with, even you now, right? So now let's go into the next
Brother,
point,
hold on.
right?
Again, you assume too much. Unmute him and continue your argument with him.
Assume what? He didn't. He had to concede on any points so that he would be honest.
Now, man, now you're turning into me. Now you're the one screaming. I know emotions run high and people start to get emotional. Okay. I get emotional all the time too. Calm down.
All right.
Yeah, we know.
Now we go over. Does he hold on to this belief? And is this belief ever was a point of contention between the Salaf? Because it doesn't matter what Ibn Taymiyya holds belief. If he holds the belief that if phenomenon happens, then that is clear-cut kufr, because the Salaf agree upon that denying that hellfire will end is kufr. They agree upon this. Do you agree that the Salaf agree that if hellfire goes poof, this is kufr?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, unmute Islam back up and continue with him, because this is very important. Because that is the statement that Ibn Taymiyya made.
Why would I continue with a dishonest person, though? That makes us an argument that doesn't make any sense.
You're not even listening, because every time he tries to speak, 10 people jump in because overly emotional. This happens all the time.
He talked much more than anyone else. He represented the same argument fully without being
Now you're turning into
more
me.
Than once.
Now you know what it feels like. Nobody's listening to you. Every time he spoke, the other guys jumped in. Thank God Dawa Ansar is muted, deafened or muted, because he would jump in. So would Yazi. Everybody jumps in. I get emotional too when I'm getting jumped. You have to continue with Islam back up. And point by point, you see, Ibn Taymiyyah claims that the Salaf disagreed or the Sahaba disagreed on this. That is a lie. That is first lie that is being peddled here.
Okay. Fluffy, you didn't bring any proofs that it is a lie.
Where is the proof from Ibn Taymiyyah? Right. Ibn Taymiyyah says there's ikhtilaf. Where's the ikhtilaf? I'd like to see it. That was the whole point. Where is this ikhtilaf? Does it exist even? It doesn't. It never happened.
We can go.
Right.
You know,
continue with Islam back
we
up.
We can
then.
go. Let me, Fluffy. This is not the point. The point is the other one, right? So I wanted to move on.
If the first thing is a lie and the next thing is a lie.
Fluffy. How about you let me finish, right? So there was the first point. I wasn't willing to finish the whole conversation, right? When somebody in front of me is honest and would concede the points that doesn't make sense.
Bro,
right?
You're not making any sense. You're going overly emotional.
Fluffy.
The conversation is over. You don't want it, then fine, it's over.
Fluffy. The first point. Dude. You don't want it, right? You want Islam Baqab to keep saying the lies that you disagree on, right? That doesn't make sense, and continue on without clarifying it. So the first point is, did Ibn Taymiyyah claim clearly that his opinion is that hell will end, right? This was the first question. I kept asking Islam Baqab to bring evidence for it. He can't. He can make just an argument that doesn't make sense, that even you don't agree with.
I agree with the argument because he didn't even get to produce the argument because you would keep interrupting and muting.
I will unmute him. If he agrees on one thing, that he can't bring evidence that Ibn Taymiyyah claims that hell will end. He can't bring evidence for it.
You are presented the entire book and you see it and you say it doesn't exist. You're just as bad as Greed is. Are you blind?
Where in the book?
You just said that I will unmute him And he will have to admit it that this thing. Are you retarded?
Fluffy,
you are emotional. You are caught.
Make
the
Islam back up
emotions.
voice towards it. Any
You
of you
are.
can't
You
point
are
towards the
not.
part.
You are not sincere in.
All right. How about you just bring the part in the book where he is saying, right, that hell will not be forever. How about just that? Right? What you brought is him listing views, right? Saying exactly that. He said there is multiple views on the matter. Okay? And then listing views. And then you bring one of those views and claim this is his opinion for no good reason. Just saying, oh no, it does not exist in anywhere else. We don't see it other places. So it has to be his views. You agreed that this doesn't make sense. That it doesn't prove anything. So until you guys bring me evidence that he said it or concede that he didn't, we can go on to saying, oh, if there is ikhtilaf is a lie or not. This is the next point. After you concede the first clear point that anyone here supposedly should agree with. Art, how about you, Mary Jane? Right? Makes a claim, right? You supported them, right? So if somebody is saying, oh, there is multiple views on the matter and listing views, is that evidence that this is his views? If you think they are, I am losing. Can you just answer that? Because this is their claim, or at least Islam Backup's claim. Fluffy just want to support Islam Backup, even though he disagrees that this is a valid claim or a logical one.
Yo, Khaled, I just want to make a point, right? So they said that Ibn Taymiyyah said that there is an ikhtilaf, right? Now let's put that aside for a second, right? Now they have to prove that the Salaf was clear on the position, right? That hell never ends, or something like that, right? Then you can present the idea that Ibn Taymiyyah lied.
In a way, actually, yeah. So they are asking for something. I would have gone through the second part like that, right? They have the one who have to prove ijma'. It is not that the people who say, oh, there is ikhtilaf has to prove ikhtilaf. It is the people who have to prove ijma'. Like for sure, actually, the ikhtilaf is understood, right? So bring me anyone who claims ijma' on the matter from the people who are like totally well known, right? Because there could be many scholars that we don't know of. There is a lot of, by the way, actually, I am against a lot of people who would claim ijma' on things that, yeah, maybe like the very well-known scholars are not presenting them, but it is presented by scholars that, oh, Ahl al-Madinah had this opinion, for example, that, the people of Basra had this opinion, without presenting any scholars, because generally it wasn't scholars that are not that famous. This claim of ijma' is a lot of times is just a stupid claim that is not evidenced enough, right? It is a very hard claim, actually. You have to say, oh, for sure, I know everyone who talked on this matter, and I know all of them had the same view. Like, I know,
So,
actually.
Islam Backup. Yo, Khaled, I just want to say something. Okay, so Islam Backup, if you're not gonna run around and beat around the bushes like a coward like you are, right? Bring your argument and position, like I mentioned before, right? And have a fruitful conversation. All right? And don't be a retard. Go ahead.
You want me to? I'm finished with him. As long as he doesn't bring a proof, the first one, I don't care to continue. If you want to talk to him, yeah.
You done running? You've been yapping for a while. Can I make the argument? Because you keep lying again. So I'm going to make it very clear. We can walk through the argument
You
from the
are
beginning.
talking
You guys
to
are not
Yazi.
speaking. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
You are talking to Yazi. Now, this is a new one. Don't bring me up. All right? I think I proved my point clearly. You are just somebody who wants to keep making illogical arguments that even your friend didn't agree with you on, right? You can talk to Yazi, start the topic from the beginning. Don't talk about me or you may get bad, right? Just to continue, make the same claim to Yazi. And if he wants to continue with you in this, I think bad terms, right? I think they are bad terms that you shouldn't be accepted on. But I'm gonna allow it, right? Because it's not my point. It is Ayazi who is the one to want to talk it, right? So don't bring me
Yeah.
up. Don't bring my argument up. Make the argument from the beginning. Whatever. Right? I'll unmute you now.
So just to be clear, Ibn Taymiyyah cites multiple positions at the beginning of the paper, not the end of the paper. So we're going to pretend my conversation with Khalid didn't happen because he's scared of it. So I'm going to make it all over again. Basically, Ibn Taymiyyah is notorious for fabricating ijma' and claiming ikhtilaf when he has none. This is one incident of him claiming ijma' where ikhtilaf doesn't exist. To push his kufr view and mislead Muslims, he made 3 false claims. He lied that the Sahaba radiallahu anhum held this position. He said everything I've seen from the Sahaba is they have a consensus on this position. The second lie he told is that there's an ikhtilaf from the tabi'een. And the third lie he told is he said that there's an ikhtilaf among the scholars. No Sunni or no Shi'i ever made this argument, just to be clear.
Oh my
So
God, bro.
when a scholar, I'm speaking, be quiet, we're starting a new conversation, right? So I'm making, because you haven't read the write-up, otherwise we could have jumped straight to it. So when a scholar lists positions on a subject, they list all the positions, then they end with their position. We know Ibn Taymiyyah ended this position on this position because Ibn al-Qayyim followed him into this kufr, and Ibn Albani condemned him on this, as did Dar al-Ifta. It's only Discord Salafis that lie about this. Now, beyond this, like I said, so he listed the various positions. So he listed the real position, what lay people thought, etc., etc., and then he made a bunch of false claims to steelman a position that's actually his position, where the hellfire ends, and he does the craziest ta'weel of numerous verses from the Quran. And then after he does this, he makes a bunch of logical arguments for why this kufr has to be true. One of which he utters an extreme statement of kufr, which is the 7th point, where he's not quoting anyone, because he doesn't say somebody said, he doesn't say call this person, and he's quoting nobody else but himself, because this quote doesn't exist outside of him prior to his writing it. And so he said, if the hellfire does not end, then Allah has no mercy whatsoever. And so as Ahl Sunnah, since we all know that the hellfire does not end, that means Ibn Taymiyyah was denying Allah's attribute of mercy. This is clear kufr. Now, it's clear that it's his position because, again, he's quoting nobody. He never makes any attempt to quote. This isn't him listing the different positions. This is him finalizing his proof for the kufr position. And that's why he lists a whole bunch of different reasons why the kufr is true. And even the person I was speaking to earlier admitted that he used to know the correct position, and now he's confused about it because of the lies of Ibn Taymiyyah. And this is why his deviancy is so dangerous. Go ahead, you can say whatever you want, Gazi.
You made no point, dude. You are just claiming, right? And you're not presenting any argument. You have to bring in argument, dude.
I brought the argument.
How is it an argument? How is it an
Okay,
argument?
I said, okay, I will repeat it. I don't know what you're not following. He makes a statement that the hellfire ends. He says, to steelman his position, that there is an ikhtilaf on the subject. The ikhtilaf does not exist. He claims that the Sahaba radiallahu anhum held this position. They did not. He claims that Tabi'een radiallahu anhum were split on this position. They were not. So these are 3 false claims to steelman a not true position. This position is his position. That's why he quotes the Quran and he says, the text says this, but what it really means is something else. You can't steelman kufr without ending a writing on a subject saying this position is kufr, so don't fall into it. What part of this are you not understanding the argument? We can go through it line by line if you'd like of the text.
Dude. Okay. So I already provided evidence, right? Let's
What
say
evidence
that
did you
Ibn
provide?
Taymiyyah. Wait, can I finish?
I'm
Okay.
just asking
So
what
let's
evidence you
say,
provided.
dude, can I speak so that you can understand?
Yeah,
Okay.
but you said you
I
provided evidence. I'm just
provided
asking what evidence.
Dude, I'm gonna speak, then you're gonna understand what I'm trying to say, all right? So I already provide the evidence that Ibn Taymiyyah, right, believes that hell will never perish, right? And even, let's say that Ibn Taymiyyah had this position that hell will perish, right? But we know from his works, right, like Majmu' al-Fatawa, right, And we have reasons in Revelation that he believed that hell will always be there, right? Now you, in the second position, is you said that the Ibn Taymiyyah said that the Salaf believed that some of the Salaf had some disagreement that hell will perish, right? But I can show you from the quote that he said that. I'm literally reading the translation, right? So he said that what is intended here is that the view, namely the view that the paradise and hellfire will perish, is a view that was never known from any of the Salaf, not from the companion, not from the Tabi'in who followed them in excellence, nor from the Imams of the Muslims. Now, which one is it? It's in page 49 to 55 of the book you mentioned, right? And I'm just gonna post it right now.
That's you're saying 45 to 55.
49 to 55.
49 to 55. That's not when the argument starts, brother.
That's no, bro. I'm not saying that's where the argument starts. That's where you have the contention against Ibn Taymiyyah, and I'm gonna refute it.
No, that's not where my contention is. My contention is this section after where he starts listing the positions. And I'll give you one of the sections that I had an issue with, where I tried to have this discussion with Agreed.
Okay. You mentioned two contentions, right? The ikhtilaf of the Salaf, right? And him saying that hell will perish. These are two objections you had. Am I correct or not?
Yeah, so he specifically states on the page of the PDF I
Okay,
put,
wait, dude.
59, that the Sahaba
Okay. I
radiallahu
was
anhum
simply
said that
asking
the
you a
hellfire
question.
will end. Yeah, I'm answering it.
Okay, dude. Okay, wait. You answered with yes, right? These are the two objections you brought.
Three contentions.
And I
have three
provide.
contentions.
Okay, we'll go to the third one later. Just a second. Now, I provided the evidence like I did before, and Dawa answer did too, that he said that hell will never perish, right? That like in the Majmul Fatawa and Reasons in Revelation. And now I provided the evidence that he said that none of the Salaf hold that the position that hell will perish, right? So now, what's
No, he doesn't say that. I'm telling you, he doesn't say that. So again, so like your evidence that you provided is not correct evidence. So I agree with you. He changed his position from the Sunni position that the hellfire doesn't end. That is in Majmu' al-Fatawa, which Majmu' al-Fatawa is a compilation of his Fatawa. Just like Sahih al-Bukhari is not a book that is written by Imam al-Bukhari radiallahu anhu. It's a compilation of hadith that precede him. Majmu' al-Fatawa are the Fatawa he issued. Since Ibn Taymiyya was in prison for his deviancy, this is the last book he wrote in prison. Now, the reason we know this is his position, beyond the fact that all the scholars said this is his position, and Albani said this is his position, is because Ibn Qayyim.
Albani. But go ahead.
So Ibn al-Qayyim followed him into this kufr. This is why he started writing that the hellfire ends. And so this was his last writing while he was in prison. And so this is the position he died on. So we don't take someone's early position, we take their last position. And so his early position that the hellfire doesn't end was correct. He changed and fell into kufr. This is the issue.
Now you have to provide the evidence, right? That he believed in his last moment. Where?
This is his last writing on the subject. So what we do, we take the Zahir, right?
Which one?
الرد على من قال بفناء الجنة والنار. This is his last writing on the subject. Ibn al-Qayyim followed him into this. We know, I told you how we know. We know when the book was written, which was during his imprisonment in Syria. We know his student, who follows him in everything, followed him into this position, and we have numerous scholars who state
doesn't
this.
believe either.
He does, actually.
Give me the book, bro, please.
No, wait, Dawa Ansar. He is making claims and not proof.
What do you mean I'm making claims? What claims did I not make?
LGBT argument, bro. Give the book, please.
Dude.
Bro, ChatGPT is smarter than you are. You have Ibn Taymiyyah's book in front of you. Why are you lying?
Islam backup. 1 minute, bro. Okay, so you are claiming that that was his last work. Now, I want you to provide evidence that that was his last work. That's all I'm asking.
And what do you want for evidence that it's his last work?
Historical or attestation, anything that is
Any
relevant and not
tafsir,
you are just giving, anything, but you are using the book itself as a refutation against him, which is a circular
yeah, I
reasoning,
mean, even the
and
book
we don't care
contradicts
about it.
the statement, bro. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
But go
you're
ahead.
fucked on every point, bro. You're actually intellectually molested, bro. Just saying.
You guys are molested. No
And
problem.
you're making claims about Ibn al-Qayyim al-Jawziyya. I
Okay,
was
okay.
looking for the quotation of the book for like a bunch of weeks. I haven't been able to find it. Only ChatGPT gave me an answer, and when I look for the book, it doesn't exist.
You're accusing me of using ChatGPT, and then you're using
Well, I think you
ChatGPT.
are. I do actually think you are
No,
because
no,
it's the
this
only.
Okay,
is
okay, okay. It's not, bro. Oh my God, let's not divert. And can you give me like any testimonial or any historical or any like something that is not circular reasoning?
that's not circular reasoning by definition.
That is circular reasoning. You're
Okay, so
using
my
the
guys,
book
are
point,
you still
itself as a
bro, I'm giving
discussing
refutation
you.
this?
against me.
Guys, why are we discussing this? Let's end this
Oh, wait,
discussion,
wait,
guys.
wait,
End it. End it.
He's a
wait,
bit
wait,
slow,
wait,
Finish
bro.
it.
wait.
Yes.
No. I want this discussion to be finished. Finish
Okay,
this
okay, fair, fair,
discussion. I'm
fair.
gonna mute. I'm
So,
gonna
okay,
mute this guy.
Islam back up. Islam back up.
It's finished. It's finished
Mountain,
now. It's finished.
Mountain.
It's finished.
One
It's
minute,
finished.
dude.
He's muted. He's gone.
Yallah,
Okay,
alhamdulillah.
bro.
But this guy is actually, this is a common point that they make that Ibn
Dude,
al-Qayyim
okay,
transmitted the
okay,
belief. I did like
okay.
one whole day of study on the belief of Ibn al-Qayyim al-Jawziyya, and it's exactly the same as Ibn Taymiyya. He transmitted that some people believe it, but he does not believe it himself.
Bro, why are you guys doing this? Like, I got him cornered, dude.
Bro, you got him cornered. We got him cornered for like an hour. You know,
I know, bro. I know,
you know,
I
he's
know.
not
He
gonna admit
never
to it, bro.
concedes,
He's
bro.
not gonna admit to it.
This
He's a
guy never
retard.
concedes. He actually, you know what he actually said one time? He said that you can actually reject a hadith and you can still be a Muslim.
Yeah. And anyway,
Saquon! Thank you for your prayer, dear. Thank you for your prayer. Saquon needed this. He heard the prayer.
Keep the vibes good and the banner fun and the game's exciting. Protect every player on the field and remind us to be grateful for these moments we share. And Lord, if it is in your will, please let Dalster's bat hit today. In Jesus' name.